Let me ask you something real, and I want you to answer it honestly. Have you ever looked into a woman's eyes and felt like there was a whole world inside her, but no matter how hard you tried, you just couldn't find the key to open it? You give her attention, you give her time, you're kind, you're consistent. But still, you feel like you're standing outside a locked door waiting to be let in. Gentlemen, today I'm going to give you the words that act like a key. Words that don't just touch her ears, but awaken something in her soul. Say this, and you just might unlock her heart forever. When it comes to connecting with a woman on a level that goes beyond surface attraction, one of the most overlooked truths is that women don't just want to be complimented, they want to be seen. Most men have been conditioned to believe that verbalizing physical attraction is enough, throwing out lines like "you're beautiful" or "you look amazing," as if those words alone hold the power to unlock emotional intimacy. But for women, these surface-level observations are common, expected, and often hollow unless they're backed by something deeper. What truly captures a woman's attention and pulls her in is when a man takes the time to recognize the often unseen parts of her, her efforts, her emotions, her struggles, her energy, and even her silence. When a woman spends an hour perfecting her look, she's not just trying to impress. You're witnessing her dedication to excellence. When she listens to your problems and supports you quietly, that's emotional labor most men don't acknowledge. When she pushes through a hard day with a smile on her face, that resilience often goes unspoken. To notice these things is to validate the invisible. And when a man shows he can see past her physical traits and into her emotional terrain, it creates a gravitational pull she can't explain. This doesn't mean dissecting her or putting her under emotional surveillance. It means offering genuine attention to what makes her unique beyond the obvious. It means pausing to notice her subtle choices, her sense of responsibility, or the way she holds back tears when she wants to appear strong. Women spend most of their lives being overlooked in the ways that matter, not for lack of being noticed physically, but because few take the time to notice their soul. So when a man comes along who looks at her and says with his eyes, "I get you," "I notice you," or "I appreciate what others don't see," it cuts through the noise. That act alone begins to chip away at the walls she's built. It's not about what's on the outside anymore. It becomes about who she gets to be when she's with you. That kind of awareness creates comfort, emotional security, and above all, the feeling that she's not invisible. And in today's world, where women often carry emotional loads in silence, nothing is more attractive than a man who sees her, not just the version she puts on display, but the version she hides when she's alone. The phrase "I see you" may seem small and almost too simple to hold emotional power, but when spoken with sincerity, it echoes into the deepest parts of a woman's being. Women are emotional creatures, not because they're fragile or overly sensitive, but because they are finely tuned to nuances of expression, tone, and intention. They know when words are spoken from the mouth versus when they're spoken from the heart. And "I see you" doesn't just acknowledge presence, it acknowledges essence. It says, "I'm not just aware that you're here, I recognize what you're carrying." This phrase transcends basic conversation and moves into the realm of emotional bonding. It taps into the universal longing to be understood, not just tolerated or appreciated, but truly understood. Think about what happens when you're going through something difficult and someone says, "I see how hard you're trying." That's not just encouragement, it's validation. It's proof that your silent efforts didn't go unnoticed. For a woman, hearing "I see you" in a moment of vulnerability, stress, or emotional exposure can bring a flood of relief. It tells her she doesn't have to over-explain herself, defend her feelings, or pretend everything's fine. You see her in her raw form, and you accept her there. That creates space for emotional trust, which is one of the rarest and most guarded experiences for most women. And let's be honest, how many women walk through life constantly giving, nurturing, and serving without anyone ever stopping to acknowledge the weight of what they're managing? So when a man finally comes along and says, "I see you," and follows it up with presence, not pity, not solutions, but real awareness, he becomes unforgettable. He becomes the one she remembers in silence, the one whose voice lingers in her heart because he offered something no one else did: recognition without conditions. That's not just a phrase, that's a doorway into her emotional world, and once you're there, you've entered a place most never reach. Saying something meaningful to a woman, something that actually reaches her core, is not just about the words. It's about the energy, timing, and sincerity behind them. "I see you" only works if it's felt. That means your body language, tone of voice, eye contact, and emotional energy must align with your words. A woman knows when you're saying something just to say it. She knows when you're being performative or trying to impress her, and that's exactly why most compliments fall flat. They feel like a show, not a connection. But when you slow down, lower your voice, hold her gaze, and let your words come from a still place inside of you, you shift the moment from casual to memorable. The delivery must feel like a gift, not a tactic. Authenticity is magnetic, and presence is power. When you're fully present with a woman, when you're not distracted by your phone, your thoughts, or your ego, you send a message far louder than any compliment. "I value this moment with you." That presence is what makes your words believable. You could say the most poetic line in the world, but if you're rushing through it or emotionally absent, it falls to the ground. Women respond to how they feel in your presence more than what they hear. So when you're sincere, she feels it in her nervous system. She softens, opens, and lets you in, and this doesn't require you to be a master speaker. It requires you to be real, to be rooted, to be connected to your own feelings so you can genuinely reflect hers. This level of emotional attunement is rare in men, and when she feels it, it becomes a spiritual experience. You're no longer just a man with words. You become a man who sees her and says just enough to make her feel truly alive. When a woman feels emotionally seen, something profound happens inside her. She relaxes into herself. She doesn't have to perform, overthink, or second guess whether she's enough. She just is. And that is the foundation of emotional safety, the most powerful emotional state a woman can experience with a man. Emotional safety is what allows a woman to express her femininity, her softness, her truth. And it's not built through logic, achievements, or fancy gestures. It's built through consistent, genuine recognition. When a woman knows that a man is attuned to her feelings without trying to change them or solve them, she trusts him. And trust is the root of attraction that lasts. Anyone can spark lust, but trust sustains desire over time. A woman may be physically attracted to many men, but she will emotionally connect with only one or two in her life, and it will be the one who made her feel safest to be herself. And ironically, emotional safety is not about sheltering her from life's challenges. It's about making her feel secure enough to face them, knowing she's not alone. When she feels seen, she begins to open, not just emotionally, but sexually, mentally, and spiritually. Her defenses lower, and she begins to express herself with more depth, vulnerability, and joy. The relationship becomes more playful, more passionate, and more real because it's no longer based on performance, but on presence. And in a world where women are often told to toughen up, to not be too emotional, or to handle everything alone, your ability to make her feel emotionally safe makes you irreplaceable. It's not about saving her. It's about seeing her so clearly that she feels safe enough to save herself. while knowing she has someone who understands her journey. Words matter, but timing transforms words into unforgettable moments. Knowing when to say "I see you" is just as crucial as knowing how to say it. Women don't always need to hear it when things are going great, when she's glowing and confident and on top of her game. The real impact comes when she's in a moment of doubt, exhaustion, or emotional disconnection. Say it when she's telling you about her bad day and trying to hold back tears. Say it when she's opening up about her past and questioning whether she's too broken. Say it when she's wearing sweatpants and thinks she's unremarkable. These are the moments when she questions her worth, when she feels unseen or unworthy, and your words, spoken from a place of truth, have the power to stop the spiral. Timing is emotional intelligence. It shows you're tuned in, that you care enough to feel her energy even when she's not speaking it. The timing makes your words medicine. They become a mirror reminding her of her value, even when she can't see it herself. And trust me, a woman never forgets the man who lifted her in the moment she was quietly falling apart. That kind of memory doesn't fade. She may not tell you how much it meant in the moment, but she will replay it later, alone, over and over. She will remember that when the world overlooked her, you didn't. That's when her heart starts to soften toward you, not because of grand gestures, but because of small, deeply timed words that made her feel whole again. In the world of dating, most men focus on standing out by what they do. They flash money, post gym selfies, or try to impress with witty banter and charisma. But few realize that what makes a man unforgettable to a woman is not what he projects, but what he perceives. Being the man who sees her makes you different. Not flashy, not loud. Different. Because while every other man is trying to earn her attention, you're giving her understanding. You're not chasing what she shows. You're connecting with what she hides. And that's the part of her that holds the key to her heart. A woman may flirt with 10 men, but she only opens her heart to the one who sees the layers she never shows the world. And once you stand out emotionally, everything else fades into the background. You become the man who doesn't just make her feel wanted, but makes her feel recognized. That changes everything. It rewires how she thinks of you, how she communicates with you, and how deeply she wants to stay with you. You don't have to compete when you connect. You don't have to convince her when she feels safe. That's the power of emotional clarity. And in a sea of men trying to impress from the outside, you become the rare one who enters from within, quietly, respectfully, but permanently. That's how you unlock her heart, not by forcing your way in, but by being the one who earned her trust through the rare and sacred art of seeing her fully.